Saturday cracker, Super Saturday. You've got the Warriors at home in Suncorp, figured one out to the Penrith Panthers. But guys, honestly, give the Warriors Magic Round from next year. If anyone from the NRL is listening, give it to them. Give them what they want, mate. Let them host it for free. I don't really care. Let's give back to those Warriors fans. But obviously, 28-16 head-to-head Penrith win. Penrith come in having lost 2 games in a row, but won 3 of their last 5. The Warriors come in having won 2 of their last 5. 2 of their last 5, but losing 2 on the trot. So both teams coming off back-to-back losses, looking to get that win. Points scored, 183 to 174. Not much between them, but points conceded. Baxter, there is almost 70 points between what the Warriors have conceded and Penrith. Now, if the Warriors are to be a serious contender, if they are to be a team that wants to go deep come September footy, come finals football, is that conceded of 180 a bit concerning when you look at the other side at 111?
Yeah, it is concerning, especially the points conceding is almost the same as points scored for Penrith Panthers here. And Penrith Panthers, they're 2-time premiers back to back. And they're the benchmark of the comp right now. So if you want to go and win this prem at the end of the year, you've really got to be really on par, if not better, better than the Panthers. Just slightly ahead. If we're going to talk golf terms, like birdie or something, maybe a double birdie if you're really, really good. But if you're just on par with them, I think you'll be traveling pretty well. But as we go into the team list, we'll see how this plays out.
All right, you've got Chance, Nickel Klosklak, Dalene Watine Zalesniak. You've got Marcelo Montoya. You've got Adam Pompey, Edward Cossey, Dylan Walker, Sean Johnson, Adam Fanua-Blake, Wade Egan, Bunty Afoa, Jackson Ford, Murata Nakoro, Tohu Harris is named. We'll see if he does be in this squad 24 hours update. You don't have Bailey Sirenen, Josh Karen, Dimitrik, Tom Alley, Freddie Lassick, Tane Tuapiki, Viliami Vele, Ronald Vokman, and Kalani Gong. So Baxter, it is a strong squad. They obviously do welcome back Chance. I think that's one massive in for them. We've seen how good he has been this year. So that's a little bit of relief, obviously, for Andrew Webster. Tohu Harris, obviously, we saw a couple of weeks ago, he could barely walk. He could barely get himself off the pitch. He has been named to return. So I think that one is interesting to keep the eye on. Obviously, if he does drop out, you'll see Josh Curran come into that lineup. But Freddie Lassick in the 18th man role. I guess Ronald Vokman in the 22. They have a big game coming up in New South Wales Cup this week. So we could see both those boys drop out, but I'm sure we'll know a lot sooner than later and a lot sooner than that 24-hour update which Warriors players are actually going, because some of them are traveling up to Brisbane. Some of them are staying in Sydney. So I'm sure we'll know a lot because they have their own kind of magic round at North Sydney Oval this Saturday. So keep an eye out for that if you are staying in Sydney. But Baxter, what do you make of this squad? What do you make of the returns of Shans and Tohu? And then we'll jump into the other side.
Yeah, it is interesting to see that Tohu Harris has been named, given that Anzac Day clash, he was, as you said, hobbling to even get to the sidelines and off the field. Chaz, we welcome back with that after that little head knock. Good to see that he's all cleared and he's fine in between the ears. So hopefully this Warriors side can score some points, because the total amount of points that the Warriors have scored at Magic Round is 43. So if I'm a Warriors player, I want to score big points this weekend and increase that total points scored up the ladder.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, they can score points. They can also defend. I thought they were very, unlucky not to get across the line last week. And again, like you said, if you get held scoreless, you really don't want to go out next week and not score many points, because then it starts to question, can we attack? Yes, we might be able to defend, but can we attack? So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But Baxter, the Panthers, you've got Dylan Edwards, Sania Taruva, Tyrone Peachy, Mr. Crichton, Brian To'o, Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary, Moses Leota, Mitch Kenny, James Fisher-Harris, Scott Sorensen, Zach Hoskin, Isaiah Yeo in the 13, with Sonny Luke, Lindsay Smith, Liam Henry, and Salmon on the bench. Jack Cogger currently holds the 18th man position with Luke Garner, Tom Jenkins, Spencer Linu in the extended bench with Chris Smith. So a massive boost, obviously, for Ivan Cleary and his man after back-to-back losses is that James Fisher-Harris is back. So that is absolutely huge, and it comes at the perfect time with Matt Eisenhuth being out with a shoulder injury. So it's kind of one in, one out. We'll see what happens, but obviously the next one to mention is obviously Spencer Linu. Did have a calf injury. He is named. We'll see if he comes into this lineup. If he does, I'd say Liam Henry probably drops off that bench. But Baxter, it's a strong side on paper. They haven't won in 2 weeks. Do you see this side bouncing back? What do you think about him?
Yeah, they need to bounce back. We just talked up how being the back-to-back premiers is the benchmark, and if you're losing a couple of weeks in a row, it's not a good precedent to your future weeks ahead. So against the Warriors, this should be a game that they look at and go, we need to turn our early season around, and this is the time to do it. You go to Magic Ground, you're up against the Warriors, who are battling some injuries within some key personnel and whatnot with the whole playing roster. So for the Panthers' sake, they, as I said, they need to turn it around and get the 2 points here.
Yeah, I think anything but 2 points here, and you start to ask a lot more questions. I think if they were to go down to the Warriors, it'd almost be a line through Jerome Luai for that origin position. I know that's a big call, but I do think that if Nico Hines keeps firing and you're not winning on club level, well, okay, that thing of let's keep the partnership together kind of goes out the window a little bit.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the sole reason why Luai will get named and probably run out is
you're telling me if the Panthers are 0-6, you're going to keep a partnership? Like zero
so,
for the last six.
Okay, fine. If the Panthers are on 6, well then Nathan Cleary's jersey's up for debate. Jerome Law's up for jersey.
Nathan Cleary's jersey is never up for debate.
That's what I'm saying.
Nathan Cleary's jersey is never. No one is questioning Cleary.
He could. If you're 0-6.
No, but I'm saying if they lose today, they lose next week, they lose the week after, and they go 5 losses on the row. You think they're not going to pick Nathan Cleary? No, but there's a big chance.
If I was Freddie Fittler, I'd be going Nathan Cleary.
And this is why you go for Queensland, and I'm winning the tipping.
No, this isn't why I go for Queensland. This is why I'm Queenslander, and we're winning. But back to the real point. I just believe that Jerome Luai being at Panthers is why he is a foot in front. Given that if he was at the Gold Coast, Newcastle, somewhere else, I think Nico Hines is a step in front. But I think that's his only saving grace. If his form picks up, well then yeah, maybe he has 2 feet in front. But at the moment, I think it's just his saving grace there.
Well, I think this could go a long way in determining who actually gets picked. Obviously, this is the perfect, I guess, round for the likes of Freddie Fittler and Billy Slater, because they can go to Suncorp, they can be there, and they can talk to each individual player after the game, and they can kind of say, this is what we've seen. You've now got X amount of weeks before Origin. If you don't turn it on, you're gone. So this is a massive weekend of footy, not just for, obviously, the teams, but it's obviously a massive week for State of Origin, because I'm sure Freddie and Slater will definitely have an eye on this game. But Baxter, my prediction for this one, I'm going to go a close one. I think there's still a little bit of clunks that Penrith are trying to figure out as they go into their chase for glory of back-to-back-to-back. So I'm going to go Penrith 1-12. I think they get the job done against the Warriors. I still think the injuries that the Warriors have had, and not the disjointing, but those weeks that you're missing where you can work on plays, you can work on combinations, you can work on, hey, is Tohu Harris playing? They might know. We don't know just yet. But due to those facts, I'm going to go Penrith 1-12.
Yeah, look, I hate to agree with you, but I am agreeing with you, and I'm going Penrith 1-12.
Don't agree with that.
Look, it's hard not to when you put out some good key truths there, and facts. So it's hard to not look at the facts and go, "Yeah, I agree."
Well, obviously, like I said, Warriors fans, if you're listening, we do have a lot of views that do come from New Zealand. We have a lot of Warriors fans in New Zealand, in Sydney, but do go for this side. Like, we're not writing off the Warriors. I still think they're a massive chance to come back. But if there's one team probably in this competition I don't want to face after back-to-back losses, it's the Penrith Panthers, because they are due to bounce back. I'm sitting there and I'm going, you know what? Nathan Cleary, like you said, he hasn't played his best footy over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I expect the bounce back. I expect the bounce back coming into Origin. Tyrone Peachy, he's trying to prove that he deserves to be in that lineup. I expect the bounce back. James Fisher-Harris, massive, massive boost. Lindsay Smith, mate, score your first pie, because you know I'm going to have a little bit on you at Magic Round. So
No, he's
score
not.
a pie, get over
Look,
the try line.
he's not going to score one. I reckon he
doesn't.
doesn't score. I reckon he doesn't score one before Origin.
Of course he's not. That's it. That's like a $1.01 call, but he doesn't score one before
No.
Origin.
It's probably juicy. It's probably about the 210 mark. Because
No
hey,
chance.
anything could happen.
He hasn't had a sniff. He's only scored like 2 tries in New South Wales Cup.
Look, Dylan Edwards could just break over the field, give him a short ball, and he goes across the line. So anything's happening.
Well, I hope he gives him a short ball about 10 metres out, because I'd hate to see him have to run 40 metres if he catches that ball 40 metres out off a Dylan Edwards pass. But we've both gone 1 to 12.